pounds off of pounds. I used to trap zips on the block. I used to hit the strip with my Glock. I kept my mouth zipped to the cops. I never said shit to the cops. I pour on full Ozoline, dumping them pills back like a fiend. Walk with a beat bop on the scene. I done sold sheetrock to a fiend. I heard my nigga die in the feds. I'd rather be broke, but instead I got too much ambition in my head. I see my nigga die for this bread. I got so much anger in my brain. You ain't from the hood, you don't feel my pain. Trapping for real, trying to buy a chain. I took 300 pills on the plane. I used to take risks for the sack. Traveling OT, busting trap. I had the work sitting on my lap. Praying to God that I make it back. I done put mama love through some pain. She know I'm so deep in the game. Told her a whole brick of cocaine. She looked in my eyes and knew I wasn't playing. Whole brick of the cut. I get like real low in the cut. Whole brick of the cut. I had to fuck around and run it up. I had a phone call with the plug. I had to place an order for some drugs. I just went beast mode in the club. Ran out of one, started throwing dubs. I had an escort in my crib. I done had porn stars on my dick. Good neck in the whip. I done had real rollies. I'm quitting rap. This nigga telling the truth. I don't get a check behind it. Yo, if my nigga Steve Wells or any of us don't get a check after this, I'm quitting rap. Bring it in. Everybody bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Yeah, I guess vibes on three. Vibes on three. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this man.
They didn't just steal the land, they flooded it and built right over the bodies. This is the part of U.S. history they don't want in textbooks. York Hill, Seneca Village. They were thriving black communities, home to free black families.
Thank y'all very much, for real. That means a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been... What you talking about, girl? What you screaming at? Huh? She don't know who I am? Chevy Trey, drop that record. Let me let her know who I am.
For 2022, Tupac beginning to be true. You can feel it. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. I'm sitting amongst my enemies stuck and I don't give a fuck. Guess who's back for 2022, Tupac beginning to be true. You can feel it. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. I'm sitting amongst my enemies stuck and I don't give a fuck. Woke up with 50 enemies who were trying to beat me. Flip on the TV, what do I see? The fuck? Tupac got shot up in Vegas, but with strangers, it ain't me. In the famous, who's to blame? The way I see it, you can't escape fate. This is my chance to flee. I got shot up in Vegas, there's no conspiracy, and I'm sorry for leaving. Believe in me, for I'm the legendary. Guess who's back for 2022? Tupac beginning to be true. You can feel it. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. I'm sitting amongst my enemies stuck and I don't give a fuck. Guess who's back for 2022? Tupac beginning to be true. You can feel it. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
That moment alone showed how tight DMX was with the Kings, especially with Kato. They had so much respect for him, not just because of his fame, but because of how real he was. So when King Kato was murdered, it hit DMX hard. X ended up dedicating a song to him called Ayo Kato.
Got some bad news. Kato's dead, man. What? Yeah, Kato's dead, man.
You can't be serious, man.
The music video was full of love and respect. Fat Joe made an appearance, and King Kato's wife was even featured at the end, giving the whole thing a deeply personal touch. After that, the bond between DMX and the Latin Kings only grew stronger. King Kato's own brother spoke out about how much he looked up to DMX for honoring Kato like that. The love ran so deep that X was even named the godfather to Kato's daughter.
Who I look up to, man, a lot of people don't know this, but DMX was my daughter's godfather. No shit. You know, he wrote a song for my brother when he was murdered. It's called Hey Yo Kato. It's no shit.
Damian Cash Cash also shared that whenever DMX was in Chicago, he always linked up with the Kings. They'd hang out, talk, even pray together. And in fact, some of the Latin Kings were so loyal to DMX, they actually got tattoos that said Dogs for Life as a tribute to him and what he stood for.
There's a handful of guys that have Dogs for Life tattoo. I was supposed to be one of the guys. I just wasn't around the day when they were going to the tattoo shop to get it, and I couldn't make it.
So yeah, DMX's connection to the Latin Kings, especially through King Kato, was stronger than most crew affiliations out there. Now with that foundation laid, let's shift gears and get into who King Kato really was, and why he was both feared and respected in the streets and in the music industry. Kato's story starts in the LeClaire Courts projects on 43rd and Lemoyne, a rough part of Chicago that's long been torn down. He came up hard, with very little opportunity, and that struggle shaped who he became. Eventually, he made his way over to 25th and Trumbull in Little Village, a neighborhood that would become the heart of his empire. That's where Kato really started to make a name for himself and where he ruled the streets for a while.
Even the FBI chief warned us. Look, watch this shit to the end.
We had no power and no prospects of getting any.
Don't worry, kids. The government will help. The government cannot help itself, let alone you. So to take your minds off your troubles, I propose some kind of games, either hunger or squid.
Do you remember when the elected FBI chief warned us? Like, this is what he said, so just listen to this shit.
Power grids are like 60, 70 years old.
It's gonna be cool when the lights go out.
Exactly. And people are like, oh, that just happens in that movie Die Hard or something. Like, no, it's not that hard to shut off a power grid through a cyber attack.
How vulnerable is it to outside attacks?
It's big because once they hit it, we can't fix it fast.
When the grid goes down, we'll eventually just ourselves out of desperation. There will be no food, there'll be no water, there'll be no medical, there'll be no communication. How likely is that method of attack, do you think?
Something's gonna happen.
That's why everyone in my family has a copy of this book. You'll learn how to protect your home with the EMP shield, build your own hydro generator, learn how to make black powder the dry and wet method, make you a solar oven, to even your own fucking water heater. There's over 70 different DIY projects in here to produce everything that you need on your property. If you see an orange shopping cart somewhere down here, that means it's back in stock, so make sure to grab yours today.